Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. Ready for new stories? I have 5 today. Let's go to the first one. Enjoy the stories, guys, and don't forget to like and subscribe. And of course, don't forget to leave a comment. My family is pretty wealthy. A lot of people translate that to me being wealthy. But I didn't uphold my end of the deal with my parents. I didn't finish college and got married very young when they were against it. So I don't get to benefit from the family wealth. I'm fine with that. I'm a pretty simple guy and don't really care about that lifestyle. Both of my parents are highly career motivated and that lifestyle never appealed to me. I am in the process of getting my crap together. But as of right now, we are living with my mom. It has been tough on my wife because my mom can be pretty crabby. I try to stand up for my wife, but it is hard when we are in my mom's house. A few months ago, my mom came into my room furious because she found my wife trying on her dress. My mom had a black tie wedding to go to, and the gown was on the bed. My wife was embarrassed, but she said that she just wanted to feel glamorous. She apologized to my mom. My mom's boyfriend proposed to her recently. The diamond is pretty big, and I don't know much about rings, but my sister and aunt were fawning over it. My wife made a couple of comments which implied that she was jealous of my mom's relationship and that my mom's fiancé is more attentive than I am. I tried to step it up a little, but my wife kept complaining that I didn't put effort into her proposal. My mom woke me up this morning screaming. She doesn't sleep with the ring on, and my wife went into her bedroom while she was in the shower and tried the ring on. I told my wife to apologize, but my mom's fiancé is such an a-hole. He tossed a pair of panties at her and was like, "Do you want her underwear too?" My wife cried when we were done and told me that she is just so jealous of my mom. I told her that was really creepy and makes me feel like I married a gold digger. She locked herself in the bathroom crying, and I don't know if I was too harsh. This is the first time that I've spoken to her like that, and I feel really uneasy. Yes, an a-hole. OP's wife should keep her hands off OP's mom's stuff. Something that would make that a lot more likely is if OP and his wife didn't live in her house. Name-calling isn't the solution, and OP sucks for that. OP and his wife should get their acts together and move out. You don't get to pass this off with, "I'm a pretty simple guy and don't really care about that lifestyle," while you're living off your mom, taking advantage of a lifestyle someone else's hard work pays for. And while you're married to someone who is clearly not happy doing that. OP and his wife should both get jobs if they don't have them, and move out to whatever situation they can afford. As for, I am in the process of getting my crap together. I bet that's a long process, isn't it? And no clear end in sight. If OP's wife asked for advice, I would tell her to move out on her own and live her life without counting on OP ever to get it together. Also, even if OP says he doesn't really care about that lifestyle, his wife clearly does. My parents have always favored my younger brother. I was by no means unloved, but it was blatantly obvious who they cared about more. I worked a part-time job to get my first car, but my brother got one as a present. It wasn't new, but was much newer than my car. It was the same with just about everything, like clothes, video games, and cell phones. I'm 18 and am taking a gap year before community college to work a full-time job and save money for tuition. But a while back, I heard my parents talking about how much they were going to pay for my brother's tuition. I secretly recorded the conversation from around the corner and then came out asking my parents why they were going to pay for my brother's college, but not mine. They didn't notice my phone was recording and just said that my brother needs more help. I asked how so, when I wasn't getting any sort of scholarship, and he likely wouldn't either. Then I asked a few more questions about why things have always been this way. They got mad, and my dad told me that perhaps it's time I moved out because they are sick of keeping a roof over my head. I pointed out I pay rent, but they didn't care. I left the room in a fit of rage, uploaded the video to 2 different social medias I have, and ranted about how this is how my parents have always been. Well, a few hours later, my parents were pounding at my door. My dad was screaming about how I made them look bad. We fought some more, and they left the room fuming. My grandparents contacted me later and said they were appalled, then came to visit with a lot of the family the next day. There was a huge family intervention, and my parents were made to sit on the couch and look at their feet while being told off. I was then found out they'd been receiving money for years from my grandparents to help with family expenses. My brother looked like he didn't know what to do. So he sided with the rest of the family and said he's noticed how I'm treated as well. My parents gave me a huge apology that sounded forced. My grandparents have offered that I come live with them soon and will cut off the monthly payments to my parents. My father told me I should have never told the rest of the family and now won't talk to me. And my mother has been crying for days. So I'm starting to wonder if I went too far. So am I an a-hole for exposing my parents' favoritism? Not an a-hole. OP's parents are just pissed because people know the truth about them, and they're no longer going to be receiving handouts from OP's grandparents. That's what they're really upset about, losing the free money. OP should go live with his grandparents. They sound awesome, and how quickly they backed OP. Basically, my grandma gave out jewelry to the grandchildren about a year ago so that she could make sure that whatever she wanted to leave for everyone got to the right person. She gave me her favorite necklace, a Mexican fire opal with diamonds around it, attached to the chain with a black onyx on a 14K gold chain. The last time she appraised it, which was years ago, it was worth $1,500. We could all tell she was most excited to give me this necklace over anything else she gave away, and her face always lights up in a way that I haven't seen since my grandpa was alive whenever I wear it around her. I have amber-colored hair, and she's always going on about how perfectly the jewel matches it. Seeing that necklace made me happy, especially since I'm now very close to not having my grandmother around anymore. My boyfriend and I have been living with his dad to help out with the younger kids. About 3 weeks ago, we went to his grandmother's house to help out with taking her Christmas decor out of the attic. When we got back 4 days later, I went into my jewelry box to get my necklace out, and it was gone. I figured I must have taken it off and put it somewhere weird, so I didn't freak. When his sister, let's call her Emily, got home from her mom's house, I asked her if she had seen it. She admitted to me that she had went into my room looking for something pretty to take a selfie with and took it. I wasn't even mad upon hearing this, just relieved that someone knew where it was. But then she admits that she lost it. My boyfriend went and told his dad while I made Emily search her room with me. While we were looking, her dad comes in, tells her not to take things that aren't hers, and then tells her to get ready for an outing they were going on. She leaves without finding my necklace, and everyone soon forgot about it. Her dad doesn't seem to care that his daughter stole something very valuable to me. She left for her mom's last week and agreed to check there in case she brought it with her. She just got back today and still hasn't found it, and is making no effort to look. She did say that she hid it somewhere safe because she knew it looked valuable. So as much as I've been looking for it, I don't think I'll be able to find it, and if anyone can, then it's her. The problem is, she doesn't care because there is no consequence to her actions. So, would I be an a-hole if I sat her down and basically chew her out for stealing something so precious to me in an attempt to make her want to go find it? Is there a better way to go about this? I know she's only 11 and kids are curious, but there has to be some kind of consequence for this, right? Not an a-hole, as long as OP is mature about the confrontation. She absolutely needs to be made aware of what she's done, and consequences should be applied. I would also discuss this entire situation with both OP's boyfriend and his father, since they're immediate family. And the father should be responsible for his child's misbehavior. Stealing is wrong, and if consequences aren't issued, it will escalate, and she will continue to do it. I would also like to mention that there is a chance she didn't lose the necklace, knows where it is, and is lying because she wants to keep it. Update to clear some things up. I made it clear to everyone in the house how valuable the necklace is and how much it means to me the moment I found out it was stolen. No, I did not pay rent because I was asked to uproot my entire life and move 2 states away to allow my boyfriend to be closer to his siblings and help out with them since their dad isn't home a lot of times. We also clean up after everyone, including the dad. We're basically live-in nannies, housekeepers. I did have a brief convo with Emily today, and she said that she is determined to find it. Not sure if I believe that one though, because she was playing Sims during this, not really paying much attention to me. I did plan on asking her about it further, but she went back to her mom's house. I didn't know she was leaving until after she left. I text her for updates, but she just keeps saying she can't find it. I've torn her room apart while she's been gone and looked in every bag, pocket, drawer, or anything I could think of. I did find a couple of other lost items that I wasn't very upset about because it was things like lip gloss and hairpins. But this shows me that she has been going into my room without permission to take things for some time now. I knew she had been messing with my makeup, but didn't really care because I don't wear it often anyways, and I myself have 5 younger siblings, so I'm used to sharing without consenting. You guys are right. I need to talk to her dad about this. I had my boyfriend talk to him already, but his dad changed the topic whenever it's brought up. I'm pretty sure because of the divorce, both mom and dad are trying to be the favorite because neither of the kids receive much discipline, unless it's from my boyfriend or me. I was thinking about maybe calling her school to see if maybe they could send notes home with all the kids about it, but I'm unsure if that's something the school would do. I do need to be careful because I am enrolled in school over here, and my boyfriend and I are working here too. We wouldn't be able to move out immediately if things got nasty, unless we went back to my family a couple states away, meaning I'd have to drop school and both our jobs. I think I will bring up the larceny thing along with the appraisal papers and make it clear that I don't intend on pressing charges, just that I want him to understand the gravity of the situation. Edit 2. I talked to Emily after I picked her up from school and informed her that the necklace must be found before I leave for Christmas next Friday, because my grandma will be expecting me to wear it at Christmas dinner, and that when she asks where it is, I will not hesitate to tell the truth. Grandma may be old, but she's a straight savage when it comes to her grandkids, and I know if it comes down to something drastic, I can count on her to be the one to bring it, which is why I've avoided telling her so far. I didn't get a chance to talk to Dad today, and I work late tonight, so odds are he'll be asleep by the time I get home, but I guess I'll try again tomorrow. Sadly, there is no update on the story, guys. My brother, 51 male, his mistress, 47 female, niece, 1 year. Backstory. My brother had an affair on his wife. They have 5 kids. After quitting his job, they moved in with his in-laws. My brother's mistress got pregnant. She decided to quit her job. She was evicted from her previous rental, leaving my niece homeless. My brother's wife decided to try and work things out. I ended having a lot of family pressure to allow my brother's mistress and my niece move into my rental to try and create a stable environment for my niece. Eventually, I agreed to allow them to move in with a couple of conditions. 1. Pay $500 each month. Most of it goes to the cost of utilities. 2. No dogs. The mistress quickly agreed, since the rent is extremely cheap, and let us know she will be starting her new job soon. The first month, I received half the rent. Then, the last 5 months, nothing at all. It's become a burden for me to keep them there. I am working additional hours to cover the expenses. My brother's mistress never went to work. I have tried and tried to talk to them, trying to work things out. It's going nowhere. I gave his mistress a 30-day notice to move. During that time, I found out she is pregnant with baby number 2. My brother's wife kicked him out, and they moved into my rental with his mistress. They didn't leave after the 30 days. They ignored my attempts to talk to them, so I served a 5-day notice. Still, no reply. So I went to the court and filed for an eviction. Since they were served, my phone has not stopped. Just about every family member has called upset. My dad told me to finish it. He feels like my brother needs to man up and take care of his kids, both from his wife and mistress. My dad told me to put my kids first. My mom, however, is livid. She told me that I would be responsible if my niece and new baby will be taken away from CPS. She said my kids are old enough to understand mommy working extra hours in the name of supporting family. She feels like I should continue working overtime and paying their expenses until the new baby arrives in 7 months. Am I the a-hole for kicking my brother's pregnant mistress to the curb? Not an a-hole, and I'd be telling Mommy Dearest that if she feels so strongly about it, she can house them and pay for them herself. He is her son after all. Background. Me, 30 female, and my husband, 27 male, are expecting our first baby. My in-laws and I have never gotten along. They have 2 kids and play favorites pretty hard, And surprise, my husband isn't the favorite. I try not to talk to them, but my husband is deployed and has been since I was 3 months along. So I try to keep them in the loop because it's their first grandchild. His mom has constantly rejected me trying to include her. We live streamed ultrasounds, so my husband could be part of it, and she wanted no part of it. She didn't want to come to either of my 2 baby showers. So when making my post-Labor Day plan, I didn't think to try to include her. My mother-in-law messaged me 2 weeks out from my due date, asking if she could come take care of me for 2 weeks since nobody would be here for me. Problem is, I have a full month of my family members coming to take care of me, and it's been planned for about 3 months. She was a little hurt, even though I told her she can visit whenever she wants, but I don't need more help. After I told her that, she asked if she could be there with me during the delivery, since her son won't be there. I told her no, that spot is for my husband, and unless they tell me medically I need someone, I'm not filling his spot. I've done all this alone so far. Labor will be no different. So she cried to her husband about me not wanting her to be a part of anything, and I excluded her on purpose. That prompted him to write my husband, who is deployed, a long-winded email basically calling me an a-hole. My husband took my side because he's amazing, but took it by saying she's the one giving birth, so what she says goes. I know I've been a bee about people wanting to step in for my husband since he has been gone. I'm afraid I was an a-hole for not including her, and he is just trying to back me up because I'm pregnant. Not an a-hole. It's nice she wants to be involved, finally, but she only wants to be involved on her terms, and that's not OP's problem. OP is not exactly cutting her out of her life here. OP just prioritized getting help from people who have been more supportive already, and who she is closer with. That's not only OP's absolute right, but is smart, and what's best for OP.